Hey there, welcome to another episode of Eve News, Weather, and Sports. It's May the 25th, 2026. I'm Mike Azariah. Let's get down to it, shall we? FanFest ended, and one of the wrap ups I watched I actually enjoyed a lot was the Nerds episode, so there'll be a link to that, which is four of the devs chatting about what they thought of the event and some of the swag that they got. There was a lot going on, and I'm still trying to decipher everything, put it all together for you in a way that's palatable and has some information to it. The thing is that Fenris Creations isn't just creations are creative. I forgot to look that up. Is not just Eve Online anymore. And so they were talking about Vanguard, they were talking about Eve, they were talking about Eve Frontier, they were talking about the board game, they were talking about writing a giant poem, all of these things binding together, made for almost a muddying of the water where you'd be going, tell us more about Eve, tell us about Ansiplexes, tell us about the new ships. And they'd be saying, and now we're going to have better guns in Vanguard. Now, there were people there who were interested in Vanguard. There were people there interested in Frontier. Heck, there was one person who only got connected to Fenris because they played the board game and thought this was a board game convention. And so they came expecting something probably a lot different, and I hope they enjoyed themselves and had a good time. But the purist in me says, yes, all these other games exist. I remember playing Valkyrie at one fan fest. I remember test flying some of the Oculus and that sort of thing for that. I remember seeing other games while I was at various Eve events, but still, Eve Online is the moneymaker for the game, and I was expecting less confusion in the keynote than having all of the different things put together. In addition to that, there was an announcement post FanFest that structures are finally in the changeover as the star bases are being replaced by upwell structures. So this is going to be a phased changeover, and there's a link to that down below that we'll talk about it in a little more detail. So if you're a structure owner, I am not being in a NPC corp. I don't do that sort of thing. Ansiplexes, a lot of talk about it, not much at FanFest, but there's been a lot of requests, and it does look the way that things are leaning right now that we're probably going to be looking at some form of jump fatigue. Now, in storylines, one of the jokes was that ships travel at the speed of plot. In other words, you get there when you're supposed to so the storyline can move forward. In games, quite often, they follow that same rule in normal PvE games that you just have a little fade out and then all of a sudden you're in, loading screen and you're in the next town. Hey, I play Elder Scrolls Online. There's a lot of that. Go to a way station, you're halfway across the world. This is fine for a PvE game, not as fine for a PvP game. Because if you have a large organization, you would like to have them have to make hard decisions as to where they want to place their forces, not the ability to have them anywhere they want. And then if something comes up on this border, speed of light, they're there. Faster than the speed of light, actually, given the size of the universe. But almost instantaneous, they can put all their forces at any point inside their huge area, which gives them no worry about expansion. Uh, a lot of people signed on to a document. I think I linked that before, but if I didn't, let me know and I'll link it again. Um, Signed for discussing possible changes to Ansiplexes. One of them is yes, you can have fast transport within a certain range of your home base. So you choose where your home is, your center system. And within a few jumps of there, you can be nice and fast. A little further, a bit slower. Kind of another method of jump fatigue, which is something that was hated when it came in, and everybody's learned to live around it since. Let's see, what else have I got? Ah, right. The movements. Insidious lost about 700. It's funny that the web page I use, which is Dotland, movement and violence page, I have links for them almost every time down below, is acting a little funny for me. And so this week, I find the numbers questionable, and the table was actually hard to read because one court name had shoved things over and the columns no longer lined up. In corporation movement, though, organization called Death's End went from about a little over 200 down to 65 in 1 week, losing 155 players. So I don't know if they're reaching the end or death. In violence, Nullsec was 4-tech Hotel Whiskey Whiskey Foxtrot, again, 854 ships, 627 pods. In low-sec, it was Amamaki with 423 over 61. And in high-sec, it was Cheetah. And this is another one of those numbers that's a little, huh? 3,000 ships, 352 pods. Now, either somebody went boom happy in Cheetah or something's going off with Dotland. NPC space, it was Lima X-Ray 5 Kilo TAC Whiskey with 47,467 ships blown up. There was something I wanted to chat with you about, and for the life of me, it was right there at the tip of my mind until I hit record. Oh well. Uh, no alcohol this week, a glass of water, because I'm feeling a wee bit under the weather. And I expect that a few players coming back from FanFest were feeling similar. Lots of drinking happens at events like that, but you don't always have to drink. You can always ask for a glass of water. One story for you. When I was younger, my brother and I had a deal. If I went out for a night on the town on a bender, he would, before he went to bed, get a beer pitcher and fill it up with ice cubes. Now, when I came home at 2 or 3 in the morning, if if I came home late, it was mainly water with a bit of ice. Deal was I had to drink it. If I came home early, it was only a little water, lots of ice, drink that. It balanced out my ratio of alcohol to water, and it was self correcting. The longer I was out, the more water I had to drink when I got home. Did marvels for hangovers. But I hope you are in good health. I hope you have a lovely week, and I will chat with you in about a week's time. To your health. Ciao, Bella.